Mace, Richard Turner, Alan Kennedy, and Steve Forte. These are all giants, card mechanics, card sharks, legends. Call them as you wish. They are masters of stacking, false shuffling, dealing any card from any position in the deck. And what can I can't do any of those things. I can't actually do any of those things. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys 7 different ways in which you can mark playing cards. And then you can do whatever you want with them, because there's so many things that you can do by marking playing cards. And I'm not talking about, marking them with a nail or something on the corner so that you can actually read them in a poker game. This is strictly for magic purposes. So if you are here as a card shark, I'm very sorry. You might be disappointed by what you're gonna find here. But honestly, I think there's a lot of good ideas here. So grab your favorite deck of playing cards, guys, and let's get it started. Welcome to 7 ways to mark playing cards. Explained with your host Biz right over here, dressed up nice and easy for the event. Because whenever I think of card sharks, I always think of them as super dapper, but probably not. Probably not. Before we get it started, guys, just make sure that you hit that like button and that subscribe button if you like what we're doing. We post a lot of tutorials over here and a lot of original products because we are a magic company. We publish a lot of original magic on bigblindmedia.com. But today we're going to be looking at marking playing cards. So pick your favorite deck, like I said before, and let's get it started. So here's a method for marking playing cards that I learned from Greater Magic. You have your back turned the whole time, so the spectator can shuffle the cards, they place them down, you feel where the cards are, you ask them to cut the deck, they cut the deck, they take a look at their playing card, and while they're taking a look at their playing card, you're just going to come over here and ask them to place the cards down. They place the cards down. It was like, what, 10 of diamonds, I think, or something. And at this point, you can instantly just cut at their playing card. Now, from this position might be a bit harder, but I can still do it. There we go, 10 of diamonds right over there. I think it's nice because all of this happens with your back turned, so it's a great magician fooler. Let's learn it. The first marking technique that we're going to be looking at is one that I learned from a book called Greater Magic. And it's a technique I still use to surprise magicians, basically because they don't expect you to mark a card in this way and actually, perform an effect with it. So I'm just going to show you guys how to mark the card, and then at the end of the video, after we've learned all of the different ways to mark cards, we're going to be looking at 2 different applications that you guys can use these, to actually have an effect going on. Now, the way that you're going to have this happen is you're going to have somebody cut the deck, and they're going to take a look at their card, right? So the Queen of Spades in this case. But at this point, they're further away from the deck. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the packet, because you're basically turned with your back towards the spectator. And you're going to tell them, please just place the card over here. So what happens is when you're trying to find for the deck, you're going to use your fingers to block the top card and then use the nail of your thumb to come over here on the side and just go down once. Just go down with the whole nail on the card. And you'll notice, you actually can probably notice this on the playing card since it's crazy. Let me try and get it. Can you see that? That over there? That marking over there on the card? So at this point, when the spectator will return the card, you're gonna have a clipping, a dent. It's not a bent. It's like the card has been carved into with your nail. It's like a hole, a small hole in the playing card. You're gonna be able to just see it. So at this point, you can instantly just set the cards aside, spread them towards the spectator. So now you can see the marking on the card. So you can just go and cut exactly at it. Now, you're going to be able to either cut like this or drop the card, leave it down, and then cut exactly at the card that they peeked at. Sorry about that. That was my mom calling. Had to take a short break, which was a nice break, to be honest. I love talking with my mom. But now you have the card signed. Basically it's marked. You have it. You can return the deck. You can cut at it. And yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want from this point of view. We're going to see what I like doing with this marking at the end of this video. But until then, let's move on to the second way to mark a playing card. Somebody takes a card from the deck. Let's see, for example, this one. They remember it. Let's take a look at it. It's the 4 of Hearts, just like that. I place it somewhere in the center. What's nice about it, I can just find it with one single finger. The second method of marking a player card, I think I've used so many times when I was in my teens. And the way that you do it is you have somebody select a playing card like this. You grab the playing card by the middle, and then you're just going to place your nail on the back of the playing card. And then at the same time, you're going to flick with your index finger as you're coming up and telling the spectator, please remember this playing card. Now, if you're going to get a card like the ace, the marking is going to appear on the front if the spectator is looking a lot at the playing card. So what you can do is after you flick, just place your index finger back in position over there so that it doesn't look, the spectator can't see that there is a marking on it. But usually this happens when the lights are shining directly upon the playing card. But when you're in a casual situation, you're just showing the card at different people, you can do it like this, mark the playing card on the back, and then you are good to go. You can place the card somewhere in the center. I marked it many times, so it bent quite a bit more. But you can see that right now the card is right there. Everybody can see it most likely. You're not going to get such a powerful bend when you do it just once. You're probably going to get something like this, just a slight bend on the side. And this one is actually going to vanish if you're using a bicycle deck of playing cards. And now from this point, again, you can just casually lift up the playing card and hopefully, yep, there we go. We have the ace over here. That was the card, right? It wasn't the ace of clubs because I get always this impression that it was actually the ace of clubs and I've cut to the ace of hearts. And now we're going to get a nice trick where I keep cutting to the aces without wanting to. Was that even close? No, it wasn't. No, it was the ace of clubs over here. You place it inside. You have it over there. And what's nice about having a card that is bent is that you can instantly cut to it. So you can do a lot of different effects with this idea. And if you want to get rid of it, riffle on the side, nice spring, and yeah, make the sponge balls run away, basically. That's what happens. And then slowly the crimp is going to go away and you have nothing to worry about. Now, the only downside to this entire thing is that if you keep doing this, you're going to have a lot of bent cards on the side. So when you want to actually cut to the playing card, wait, I actually didn't cut exactly at it. When you want to cut at it, the thing is that you're going to have multiple cards that are bent. I should probably turn this phone around so that, you don't get any nice notifications happening over here. Let's get this deck in view as well. Now we have a full image of my entire desk. So I advise you to do this in the beginning when you're opening a deck of cards or you don't have a lot of cards that are bent. It's going to make it much, much easier to find the card that you are looking for. So there you go, guys. That's the second way that I like marking my playing cards and finding them afterwards. Let's go to the next method. Here's a very peculiar way of actually, marking a playing card. Somebody just touches a card. Let's see, for example, is this one. They take a look at it, the Jack of Diamonds, right? We're just going to leave it right over there. And you have actually marked it in the moment that I've just done this. So now, if I just got to take a look and instantly, I had more cards that I actually marked, so I hope I'm cutting at the right one. Yeah, Jack of Diamonds. So what happens right when you get the deck or when you get the playing card, just for a second, you mark it. It's got no visual thing, like the deck can look completely normal, and then you cut the card and you can instantly see it in the pack, just over there. Here is a method that is quite unusual, but that works very, very well. Now, you're going to have somebody select a playing card, obviously. They're going to take a look at it. You place it back on the deck, and what's going to happen is you're going to come with your nail right here on the side. You're just going to drag a line along it. Notice how I just placed my finger, just went like that. And now if we cut the card, you're going to notice this white. Let's see if we can get a nice... You can see that white line just over there is very obvious, so probably your spectator would be able to spot it as well if they were looking at it. But I did it very, very big so that you guys can actually see what's happening. But you can do it just a little bit. What's nice about this is that you can mark multiple playing cards, and because they are so white on the side of the deck, you can easily just cut directly at it, just like that, So you can have all of the aces marked, have somebody shuffle the cards. You can show that there are no crimps on the sides, and then you can just find the playing cards. It's an unusual way to mark a playing card, but definitely one that is very visible. And I can say that using it, you can make your own custom butterfly deck of playing cards if you just start drawing on each playing card, basically. So there you have it, guys. The third way to mark a card. You ask somebody to just call out stop as you're dealing cards. So let's say you stop over there. They take a look at their playing card. I can actually take a look at it as well. It's the 6 of spades. You place it in the center, and then you can instantly just have access at it whenever you want. What better way to mark a playing card than do it while you're dealing cards down on the table? So you can have somebody just call out stop, and then you can deal them the card over there. And in that process, you're going to be able to bend it right here at the corner. So now you can leave the card somewhere in the center, and you can see that there's a nice dent in the playing card that will allow you to just cut directly at it. Let's leave it somewhere in the center as well. So you can test this out. You can see that the queen has been marked. And it's a nice casual deal. It doesn't feel like you're really forcing the card down on the table. You just come over here, you deal it down. And in that process, you're basically bending. It's not really bend. Is it like a crimp? It's more like a crimp, I think, right here at the corner. And it happens from a very natural position in which you are when you're dealing. You're grabbing the card by the corner with the middle finger underneath and the thumb on top. And you're bringing the lower left corner down on the table first. You're already almost bending right over here, see? And then what's happening is you're applying pressure with your thumb on the corner, and with your middle finger, you're applying pressure the other way around, and then you're releasing with your finger. And in that process, because of those two forces that collide, you're going to get a nice crimp right there at the corner. And then you're going to be able, the spectator can take the card, take a look at it, place it down in the center, and then when you cut, you can instantly cut at it. So I would advise you to just deal cards, and then when somebody says stop, you just deal the card, and in that process, you bend it. This was a very big bend, like I really wanted to bend it. And then the spectator takes a look at it, and then they lose it back in the center, or you lose it back in the center. You can use it in any different way. But I really liked this idea of being able to deal and bend at the same time, because the bending happens in a moment in which, people are actually more interested in seeing the card or seeing what's happening instead of just, being suspicious of a deal. They're just like that, Deal it down, bend it, have fun with it. And let's move on to the next method of marking a playing card. If you really like this world of gambling, card sharks, and card mechanics, then I really recommend reading Derek DelGaudio's book, A Moral Man. You can get it anywhere, basically anywhere. It's so famous, probably you've heard about it, but if you haven't, it's an amazing book that basically, goes with him from when he started doing magic up until he enters this world of card sharks and actually rigging games. It's an amazing story, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Let's say you would like to bend the card with just one single hand. So you would have somebody, you cut the deck, the spectator takes a look at their playing card. So it's the nine of diamonds in this case. And we place it back right over there in the deck. So at this point, I can actually just come over here and cut instantly at the 9 of diamonds using one single hand. So I've been thinking about a method in which you could cut the playing cards like this, show the spectator the card, and in the process of doing this, you're actually bending the card that they're looking at. And the method that I found looks like this. You cut the cards, and the first thing that you do is after cutting the cards, you're going to use your thumb. So let me just lift this up so you can see what's happening. So I'm cutting the cards at a certain point, and then I'm using my thumb to just pick up another card. So there is a break between the card that they're looking at and the rest of the pack. But because the spectator is taking a look at it from the front, they're not going to be able to see this. It's like you're taking a look at it right now. You don't see a certain difference between the card and the rest of the deck. Hopefully. Hopefully you don't. So what's going to happen from this position is I'm going to place my index finger on the side of the deck over here and basically block the playing card. And from this position, with my pinky on the side as well, sort of like in a fan position that you are over here. So let's go again from the beginning. I cut the cards, I take a card, and I reposition my fingers on the side like in a fan position. I show the card to the spectator. As I come back with the cards in order to place them down, I'm literally just going to use my thumb to crimp the playing card right over here on the side. I just go inside, and you see the card tends to go the other way around because of the pressure. So what I do is I use my index finger over here to block it, and now I can press down on it and crimp it and go and have the card just bent over here. Now, obviously, you don't want a very big bend, but you do want to be able to spot it. And what I love about this, like I said, is that it doesn't use two hands. So you are over here, you get your nice break in between, you show to the spectator, you're gripping with your index finger on the side, and as you're coming back, you're basically just gonna push down on the side and leave it down on the deck, just like that. So if you're doing this in a situation where you're surrounded, you can pick up the playing cards. You can show the card to everybody so they can take a look at it. And then as you're coming down, you're gonna apply pressure on the side of the card with your thumb. See how it just bends it over there in a very conic fashion? Because it doesn't have anywhere to go, you're basically just continuing the bend. So if I would exaggerate this and keep on going, it would crimp it like this. So that's basically the crimp that we're going for. Just wanted you guys to like have a visual representation of this. So basically that's what's happening at a very smaller scale, you know? Now, we have it over here, right? We're showing it to everybody. It doesn't matter that you can see that there's a break. You can have this even smaller. But if you're doing it fast and everybody can see it, then when you come back and you bend the card, you can drop it down and you can instantly have access at it whenever you want. I love this bend because it's just one-handed, so it feels hands-off. It doesn't feel like you can do anything with just one hand as you're showing to the people, and I think it's fun to do. So there you go, guys. The fifth method, yeah, I think the fifth method to mark a playing card. Here is a very useful way to mark a playing card. Somebody chooses a card from the deck. Let's say, for example, is this one, like the Three of Hearts. We get it, we place it somewhere in the center. Maybe that was a bit too theatrical, you know, and you instantly get it. You can actually do it less theatrical than I did. You know, somebody points at a card, let's say it's this one. You're just gonna take it from the deck, have them remember it, place it somewhere in the deck. I didn't actually look at it. It's the Four Hearts. There we go, because I want to make sure that I'm cutting exactly the right card. There we go. Sometimes things happen, right? Four Hearts. There we go. I've also been practicing with this deck a lot, and there's a lot of bent cards. So, yeah, this is basically bending while taking a card from the spread. You can also do it like this, but that is a bit maybe too flashy for everybody. And then, like the Nine of Spades, we have it in the center over there. You're basically throwing the card towards the spectator, and then you're going to be able to just cut at it at the Nine of Spades. There we go. Now, how many times do you perform on the table and you spread the cards like this? Very many times, right? So you have somebody just point at a card. Let's say it's this card. You're going to take it out and in that process, give it to them. So the way that I would usually do this is either by flicking the card towards them. Wait, let me show you. See, just like that, I hit one of the sponge balls, so plus 10 points. So either by flicking the cards towards them, which makes the bend even much more motivated because I'm like, hey, look at this cool thing that I'm doing. But at the same time, I'm actually bending the corner of the playing card by doing this. So I grip the corner of the card, the outer left corner of the card with my thumb right here, and with my middle finger underneath, I'm pulling the corner, and this is where the bending happens. And from here, I'm basically doing this motion, and I'm spinning the card out of the deck, just like that. So in the process of showing off, you're actually bending the card as well. So the spectator will take the card, they will look at it, and then will give you back the card, and you have the card bent. So let me just grab all of these cards from over here so we can use them. But let's say it isn't necessarily your persona to do something like that. So what you can do is just take the card out, bend it as you're taking it out, and then show it to the spectator in that motion. So you're grabbing it, you're bending it, you're spinning it, and then you're showing it to them. The bend is now hidden right here underneath your fingers. So you can take the card, place it anywhere, and it will look completely normal. And now you're going to be able to just have access to it because of the bend over there. And because it's such a light bend, it will go away by shuffling the cards and springing them or just handling them for like a day. and so you don't have to worry about, you know, the spectator seeing it or your deck being damaged in the long run. I think it's a very nice and very accessible mark that you can start using right away if you enjoy doing this sort of things. And yeah, that was the dribble. What if you would like to dribble the playing cards just like this? Have somebody call out stop, they take a look at their playing card, and in that motion you're actually making a mark so they can instantly have access to their playing card. Right now I can just cut and I can have access to your playing card, not because I marked your playing card, but because I marked another card next to it. How do you mark a playing card while you're dribbling the cards, right? So you're over here, the spectator is taking a look at their playing card and you would like to mark a card. So one thing that you can do is you can mark the 10 of diamonds. And the way that you can do this is by dribbling the cards. And you can see this position in which I'm dribbling, my fingers over here, my index finger stretching out, that can actually curl underneath the packet. And if I bring the rest of my packet right over here against the base of my thumb, what I can do with my thumb is just instantly bend that corner a little bit. So I can dribble the cards. I have the same the same because it's bent. So the spectator is taking a look at it. I am bending the corner and then I can dribble the rest of the playing cards on top. So now I have no idea what card is selected, but I can cut directly at the 10 of diamonds and basically have access to their playing card. So let's go over that once more. Somebody says stop. I instantly grip with my index finger. I bring the deck closer to the base of my thumb. As somebody is taking a look at their playing card, my thumb is going to riffle one single playing card from over here, bend it, just slightly bend it, and then come back in position. And this, everything happens very, very quick. So now you can instantly just have access to that playing card. I think it's a fun and very nifty way to mark a playing card that happens on the offbeat because everybody's taking a look at their playing card. And if you enjoy it, yeah, use it. That was basically the ending of 7 ways to mark a playing card. But now we're going to look at 2 different applications that I like to do when I mark playing cards. So the first thing that I like to do is using the nail marking technique that I showed you before. And the way that I do this is I have the spectator shuffle their deck and I turn my back completely. And then I ask them, okay, I want you to just take the cards and cut them somewhere. So they cut the pack. And meanwhile, I keep fumbling with the deck. And I come over here, I do the nail marking on the side, and I ask them, can you take a look at the playing card and place it back over here? Okay. And I'm going to dribble all of the cards. So at this point, I know nothing about your card. I can't know any key cards. I can't know anything. I don't know how many cards you cut because I wasn't looking. I could feel them with my fingers, right? But I can't like actually know the number. So what I will try to do, you see, the deck is actually a computer. And if you do the same things, it's going to give the same output. So you basically cut directly at a certain point. And this is basically just the presentation of me cutting exactly at that point. And now all I have to do is just search for my crimp over there. This is the card that I nailed in, and which means that their card is actually underneath this playing card. So if I pick up exactly here, what I can do is come back and just dribble one card and place it down and say, I think I'm correct when I'm saying that this is exactly where you cut off. So through the presentation, I'm actually doing an estimation trick, but because you're never actually looking at the deck, it always throws magicians off. I showed this at Blackpool this year and people are like, what? And also, nobody expects you to mark a card with your nail. Like, it's such an old technique. It just, nobody would expect you to do it. So it's great as a magician fuller. I like the presentation because it masks the fact that you have to take a look at the playing card, you know, just to get into the motion of cutting exactly where they cut, you know? And you can motivate this by saying that it takes a little bit to compute, you know, I got to do this very slow because I'm a Windows 98, Windows from 98, like how's it called? A Pentium 1. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I got those when I was small. I was thinking I could instantly cut at the aces. For some reason, I always try this when I get one ace. So there you go, guys. First presentation right over there, which I like to do. You can actually do it with any marking. It doesn't have to be this one. But what's nice about this one is that it you don't have to look at the deck. You're just basically touching, and then you're doing the marking. Now, what I would advise you to do is like really do a serious marking. And if you do with just the nail, sometimes you can actually not spot it because it's way too thin. So what you can do is place your whole nail, I mean your whole nail, and just go down like that. You notice how that is way much bigger than the other one. So now I can actually spot it when I'm spreading the playing cards over here. I can instantly go at it right there because there's much more white on it. Now, obviously, we did learn another one. So what you can do is you can place your fingers over here, scratch, and say, just place it over here. So now when they put it down, I can see it from a mile away, not even just that. So you can choose between the two methods that have been taught in this video. I think both of them are very good. But in the end, make sure that you give your spectators a nice magical experience. The second effect that I love performing, and I've been doing this ever since I've been a kid, is using the nail marking that you do over here when you show everybody. You're basically bending the card on the side. So let's say we have the 2 of clubs. Now I have been bending cards quite a lot, so I don't know if this is going to work. But see, there you go. The cards split exactly at that point because of the bend. There we go. Just flick it exactly at the bend, and it's going to reveal itself. I published this. I performed this back in 2010, I think, or 11, or even 9. I don't know. But I found out it was actually published in a book, so I can't take credit for it. Now, you're basically you're marking the card, you're placing it on the side, make sure that it's somewhere in the center, spread the cards, and then use your finger to cut exactly at that card. If you're feeling very brave, you can actually ask the spectator to place their finger and then just go up, and it will work. There's many times when this actually works, but you need to have of steel. You gotta have them of steel, made of steel, and then you're gonna be able to pull it off. Obviously, you can do this with any bend. Even with the dribble bend, you can have it from over here. You can bend the card, you have the corner over there. You can spread the cards and then hit the cards exactly at the corner if you want. So you can definitely adapt this. I think you can use your foot. You can use breathing. I've used sometimes, I just spread the cards and then I blow. And because the cards are bent over there, a lot more air is going to enter in that position and is going to flick and separate the cards much more in one single point. So just think about the last airbender. Earth is like action, fire is I don't know, air is air blowing, and water, I don't know what water would be, but definitely you can get creative because once you have a bent card, you can do so much more with it. You can cut at it like for estimations, you can control them and then do any trick possible and existable in life. But these are the two things that I've always done. Magician Fooler, and one is engaging the spectator and finding a card with one single finger, which I love because it's so hands-off. So hands-off. So I hope you like those two applications and that you enjoy them and start doing them as well. That was it, guys. Marking cards with the nail, with the finger, all of that. Mishka jiggly buggle. I don't know what that was, but I think you guys, I thank you. I think and I thank you at the same time for everything that you have done. I thank you guys for being over here and watching the video and for coming here. I've missed a couple of weeks because I have been on holiday and I've also worked on some other projects. And now I am back. I've learned this new thing. This is the cutest thing I've learned. Like going from like a deadly rock star to like heart is, I hate this. I hate this. I don't like it. But this, oh my God, this is like, it's my new thing, I swear. So guys, thank you very much. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. Until then, hope you have an amazing week. Learn, practice. Tell us what you like the most from this video down in the comment section below. My name is Biz. You can find me on social media, Big Blind Media on Instagram, Big Blind Media on YouTube, biz@bigblindmedia.com, in like email if you want to email me. And yeah, much love, guys. See you next week.